quote some of the sentiments that have gone before me and the statement that was brought by the Senator for Isiolo. Honorable Speaker, some of the things when you hear, the things that are happening in our counties, they just infuriate you. It's impossible to believe that some county governors are running these institutions like they are personal fiefdoms. I personally encountered this situation of Nyamira that the Senator has spoken to. Honorable Speaker, I almost lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. He was there. I could not believe that a section of MCAs, in fact, we were told there were only 12 MCAs. And I personally have the list of those MCAs. I was shocked to find a member of ODM amongst those 12 MCAs. She's nominated by ODM. And it is a situation that is unacceptable. The bulk of the 12 MCAs are from the governor's own party. They're from their governor's own party. So he has set up a parallel house and he decides, because those are the people who come from his party, he's going to recognize only those ones who are from his party and they are sitting under a tree somewhere. He takes his budgets to them. Every communication is processed through them. When we're asking them, okay, so how many clerks do you have? Because there's only one clerk. There's a gazetted place where the assembly is supposed to sit. It's absolutely unbelievable. But I don't want to be persuaded. I cannot be persuaded that there's nothing this house can do. We are the ones who with powers. We should stop all resources going to Nyamira until that issue is resolved, because we are presiding over an illegality. This house has options. Let us not appear like we are helpless. By the time that report comes, the chair of the devolution committee, I can see you smiling. If your report does not recommend stoppage of money to Nyamira, we will not accept it. We are preempting the work of that committee already. And don't tell us we don't have things we can do. In my own capacity as SG of ODM, I have made my members aware in Nyamira that we will not tolerate a situation where they are participating in an obvious illegality. Yes, I have said it. I have spoken to the leadership of WIPA. The SG of WIPA is here, Senator Shakila. Tell the members of WIPA who are participating in that kangaroo assembly that there will be consequences for you participating in an illegality. We as ODM are the believers, the founders, the people who brought devolution around. If we are fighting here for resources, every time Baba is saying we must give counties more money, we cannot be part of those shenanigans where instead of devolution coming to help the people of Nyamira, people are playing those small games there in the village and you have two parallel assemblies. It will not be accepted. This will not be the Senate that presides over such an illegality. Honorable Speaker, we know for a fact, when we sat with those MCAs, we were asking them, are there court orders? Are there any court orders on which these people are riding to, validate these sittings under a tree? And there is none. There is none. That's what I'm telling this house, that it is a shameful situation. And especially because we as believers in devolution, and we are the people who give these county assemblies money. Honorable Speaker, just yesterday, we were passing a law here as the Senate to give county assemblies financial independence. So we have passed that law, and it is because MCAs have been asking us, and it was brought by the Speaker, yourself, the Honorable Kathuri Murungi, the Senator for Meru. So, Speaker, if we tell Treasury to send money to Nyamira County Assembly, which assembly is the money going to? Which assembly is the money going to? So now that there is that financial autonomy, the next move should be this Senate to stop any disbursements to the county government of Nyamira and the county assembly of Nyamira, because we cannot tolerate such a situation. We look so bad as a country that such a situation can continue for long. And the Senator for Nyamira, you can count on me as your SG, as your colleague in this house, to ensure that we bring order to Nyamira. We must bring order to Nyamira. This is untenable. It is unacceptable. It is untenable. I am ready to make enemies. I am ready to make enemies. Mr. Speaker, if you know that nominated the MCA, when I call her, she tries to speak to me in our native language so that I can feel pity for her. I am ready to be, I'm ready to make enemies. But in the defense of devolution, there will be no tribe, there will be no party, there will be no nothing. We cannot have a situation such as that. And Senator for Nyamira, Senior Omogeni, please understand that I will deliver the entire machinery of ODM to ensure that we restore order. And don't be scared by the chair of devolution. There is something we can do and we will do it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senators, the statement hour. We are just 8 minutes to the statement hour, the end of the statement hour, and then given 2 minutes each. Clerk, 2 minutes each to the members. Senator Kalenyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The month of April is Autism Awareness Month, and this statement by Senator Methu cannot be more timely. Mr. Speaker, the prevalence of autistic children in the recent past has skyrocketed, not just in Kenya, but globally. I know there is all sorts of theory attributing this prevalence that have been attributed to the rise of autism in the country and in the world. I don't want to dwell on that, Mr. Speaker, but there are challenges that the autistic community have to go through in the country and specifically in Kenya because of, for example, a lack of official data. We don't have a registry of autistic children in this country, and if the government was to intervene, what numbers are they going to be operating for? Mr. Speaker, we would want specialized approach to assist parents and families living with autism. We would like the government to intervene and have specialized training for the teachers and medical practitioners. We want the families of who are raising autistic children to know these are normal children and to accept them as they are. We need to have awareness to eliminate stigma. Mr. Speaker, we want families assisted, and we want to take this situation seriously. We are happy that this week the Senate has passed the People Living with Disabilities Bill, which recognizes autism as a mainstream disability.
Give her 30 seconds to finish that. 30 seconds to.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So let me conclude by saying we need a mainstream department that will, given the numbers and the prevalent and the rising numbers, we need a department to deal with autism in the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last but not the least, Senator Mazayo, Minority Rinda. You are okay? Senator, who is on this? Maybe the rest are not interested to speak to this. We have 2 minutes. Senator Gloria or Senator Chalgay. Next one.
Order number 8, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations and the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusundi concerning restraining county governments from hiring law firms to represent them in court cases. Resumption of debate, question to be put.
On this, I wanted to ascertain whether we have numbers. I'm told we don't have the numbers. So we defer this order to the next sitting. Next order. Honorable Senators, looking at the business before us, from order number 9 to 14, we defer those divisions. We don't have numbers. We go to the next one after 14. Clerk.
Order number 15, motion. Report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into personal security concerns raised by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Trans Nzoia County.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the report for the Committee of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on personal security concerns raised by Hon. Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia. Honorable Speaker, at the sitting of 2nd
Chair Devolution, approach the table for some guidance.
Sorry?
Approach the table.
Honorable Speaker, I want to present the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations concerning the issues raised by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Trans Nzoia, that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into the allegations of personal security concerns raised by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Trans Nzoia County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Honorable Speaker, at this sitting, the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations received a copy of letter reference CGTN/DVGN Volume 2, dated 1st November 2023 from the Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia, Hon. Philomena, addressed to the Deputy President and copied to the Speaker of the Senate. The Speaker then referred the matter to the Committee on Urgent Consultations. In the same letter, the Deputy Governor brought the following issues to attention: that on 26 September 2023, while on official duty in the United States, USA, she received information from concerned residents of Trans Nzoia on the same unfortunate happenings, touching on her security, posing danger of her life. That in the said period, social media platforms were awash with the threats and abuses leveled against her by the communication staff attached to the county governor, Hon. George Natabea. Her efforts to reach the governor via phone calls were futile. That upon returning to the country on 2nd October, she reported the threat to the Director of Investigation, DCI, the National Cohesion and Integration, NCIC, Matogari Police Station, but no arrest or progress was made. She further wrote to the governor, informing him that she was unable to return to work in the county due to her compromised security. That after writing to the governor, the said staff of the governor continued with the threats and the third, but the governor never made a response to this. That additionally, the governor himself continued making informative statements which further threatened her security and caused a spike in animosity between her, against her community, and that of the governor. She further revealed that the difficult conditions she was working under included lack of funding for her office that was impacting on her ability to execute her duties as a deputy governor, being denied her official residence, which has been converted to a campaign center, and also the First Lady's office being sidelined on all decisions and most functions in the county, being denied most of legitimate payment to her office and generous mistreatment and humiliating, and that she has been subjected to. She concluded that by appealing to the Deputy President for an opportunity to meet with him in order to discuss the way forward, the issues mentioned for a healthy working relations with the governor and focus on service delivery, there was no response. Honourable Speaker, at the sitting of the committee discussed the issues raised in the letter and resolved to invite the Deputy Governor. The committee sent invitation successfully, held meetings with the following stakeholders: the Deputy Governor of Tanzania, the National Cohesion and Integration, the Governor of Tanzania. The committee also was not able to meet the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, National Administration, the Inspector General, and the Director of Investigation, DCI. The Cabinet Secretary was invited on 2 occasions. However, he conveyed his apologies and requested the committee to reschedule the meeting to a more appropriate date when he will be available. Further, the committee visited Tanzania on 2nd March 2024 and held a meeting with the Governor and the Deputy Governor with the aim of mediation and resolving the issue. The committee later paid a courtesy call to the Assembly of Tanzania. Honourable Speaker, upon receipt of the stakeholders' submission, the committee did an in-depth analysis, and based on the deliberation, the committee has made various observations, recommendations, which are set out in Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 of this report, respectively. Honourable Speaker, I wish to inform the Senate that the committee successfully resolved the issues causing the rift between the governor and the deputy governor, mediated the 2 parties, and restored good working relations between them. Honourable Speaker, having said that, the matter has again reverted back, has again cropped up, and currently the deputy governor is still having same problems, and she has decided to live on her own and mind her business without any much alteration. Honourable Speaker, I might take this opportunity to commend the members of the committee for this devotion and commitment to duty, which led to the successful consideration of the issue raised by the Deputy Governor of Tanzania. I also wish to thank the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Senate for the support they gave. Honourable Speaker, it is now my pleasant duty to move this motion, and I request that the House adopts the report. And I call upon Senator Sharagay to second the motion. Thank you.
Yes, the seconder. Chairperson, who is the seconder? Sharagay. Okay, go ahead, Sharagay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, as I rise to second this motion on the report on the Standing Committee on Devolution on the security, interpersonal security by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I rise to second, I want to commend the committee chair, Senator Mohammed Abbas, for steering this committee. I know he has come under a lot of challenges today afternoon over Nyamira County Assembly divisions. In fact, Mr. Speaker, sir, the most important committee in this House, apart from any other committee, should be the Committee of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations. Because under Article 96, the role of the Senate is to protect and promote the interests of counties. The most highly sought after committee should be devolution. And of course, Public Accounts Committee and the rest can follow suit. I don't know which committee was Senator Metu taken, but maybe when he will be submitting, he will inform the House which committee is serving with a lot of distinction. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, I've read the report. I am happy that the committee tried the way of doing it in kienyeji, or localizing and bringing them together in last year, 2024. Mr. Speaker, because the county cannot function without a deputy governor. The reading of article election of governor and deputy governor is Article 180. In fact, the deputy governor and governor are conjoined like CMS twins. It is like the president and the deputy president, because you elect them on the same ballot paper, but they are not co-governor, Mr. Speaker. So the point is that the law envisages that there should be no vacuum in the office of the governor, in case, God forbid, the governor dies in office or incapacitated or incarcerated as the provisions of Article 182 on the vacancy of the deputy office of the governor. So, Speaker, we're having problems with deputy governors. You remember the deputy governor of Siaya was brought here. Fortunately, the House ensured he survived, Mr. Speaker, and we are told he has not accessed his office up to date. Because when we failed to impeach him as a House of the Senate, the deputy governor of Siaya is yet to resume or assume his duties, even access to the salary, functionality of the office. But the intention of the drafters of the Constitution is that there should be no vacuum, because existence of vacuum in such office as the governor creates a lot of, even peace and instability becomes a problem in that county, Mr. Speaker. Even look at the deputy governor, Mr. Speaker, where, you know, the problem we have in this country is most governors see their deputies as a threat to their seats. And that is why they want deputy governors to operate in the principle called monkey principle, Mr. Speaker. Hear nothing, see nothing, say nothing. And that is what the principal governors would want. If a deputy governor rises and opposes, and you have seen, and I want to challenge the the devolution chair to look even the issue of Siaya, Mr. Speaker. Even you see the Kisii, when we impeached the former Deputy Governor Robert Monda in this House, Mr. Speaker, another deputy was being appointed. Remember Meru, they have nominated, Mr. Speaker, a new deputy governor who is the deputy vice chairperson of IEBC selection panel. So the deputy governors having a challenge. My only advice, because I remember, Mr. Speaker, we were with you in the last session, there was even a legislative proposal that deputy governors should be given jobs. But I want to advise deputy governors, just be a deputy. If you want, just read a newspaper, come to the office, read a newspaper, get the directions of the governor and go home. So that is what, because you are principal assistant, Mr. Speaker, the standing orders does not allow point of order during the seconding of a motion. It doesn't allow, unless...
Gloria, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Senator Cherargei, in this upper house that protects devolution, to allude that deputy governors have got no work and should therefore just come to office to read newspapers if they want to survive their terms? Is it in order, Mr. Speaker? Because this is the upper house in charge of devolution in its entirety, including the deputy governor's roles in devolution.
Senator Cherargei, you can proceed.
Mr. Speaker, you know, the former governor of Uasin and the current senator used to have a deputy governor, and I hope when you will be contributing, Senator Gloria, by your direction should be present in the House, so that he can know that the deputy governor should remain a deputy governor. You are just a principal assistant. So what I'm saying is a statement of fact, unless the governor gives you to be a CCM in charge of roads, or in charge of anything. I'm just stating a fact. And if you are a deputy governor, and I want to dare friends of Senator Oroba, if he has a friend who is a deputy governor, there is no in the law that has provided for responsibilities and functions of a deputy governor as being read in Article 180 in election of a deputy governor and governor. They are not responsible. They should just remain as principal assistant. Unless, and my advice is, there was a proposal, Mr. Speaker, that we intervene, and it is unanswered, that we should give responsibility to deputy governors, which we did, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, would you like to be informed by Senator Metho?
Mr. Speaker, since he has not new and deaf for some time, he might have grown wise after having this deaf.
Maybe to enrich the thinking of my senior brother, Senator Cherargei, the architecture of our constitution as it is now, a deputy governor is a spare wheel that will only be useful when the main wheel of the car is not functional. There is no function that has been adduced to the office of the deputy governor now. Correct. So our deputy governor is just a principal assistant. Nothing more, nothing less.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I think Senator Metu, Mr. Speaker, has grown wise after growing beard, but I want to say one of these fine days, Mr. Speaker, especially on Thursdays, we should do an arambe so that we can come up on pay bill on how we can raise for him to get shaved by a barber. You know, the way it has grown long, it needs to be shaved, Mr. Speaker. And I thank you for that information. I think that is what we are just saying, Mr. Speaker, that the deputy governor should remain a deputy governor. Finally, Mr. Speaker, so that I allow colleagues to say on this, is, as they say, if it took a ground is different. As I talk to you, the governor of Trans Nzoia, Governor George Natembeya, and Deputy Governor Mary Kapkori Philomena Kapkori don't see eye to eye. So things have gone back to default settings again. Mr. Speaker, you know why? Because the current governor of Trans Nzoia, Governor George Natembeya, this is a side effect of his tribal undertones. If you see most of his videos, he is creating tribal rift in Trans Nzoia. Yet Trans Nzoia, Mr. Speaker, is a cosmopolitan county. And this is the undertones of, Mr. Speaker, of tribalism that the governor is perpetuating in Trans Nzoia, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to challenge the devolution committee that you need also to ensure that the governor of Trans Nzoia is held to accountable in some of the issues that he's saying in public. And I think, Mr. Speaker, the colleague leaders who are female should come out strongly because this is another form of femicide. This is another form of femicide, Mr. Speaker. Because if you find a governor is undermining a lady or a woman who is a deputy governor, that governor is promoting femicide in our country. And therefore, the little I have seen governors who are deputy governors as women, they have enjoyed cordial working relationship, Mr. Speaker. But when you get a governor like George Natembeya undermining the operation of his deputy governor, Dr. Philomena Kapkori, is also a form of femicide. It is also a form of women harassment. And it is endangering. And I hope the Senator, the Senator Oroba is listening to this. It's endangering women leadership. It's promoting femicide against women. Because if you are undermining, and any man who undermines a woman is not a man. Let me say this with a lot of tremendous respect. No, it's not a womanizer, I think. I think Senator... I don't know whether Senator Westbrook, that's not a womanizer. A womanizer has a different thing, has a different meaning. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you cannot define it that way, Mr. Speaker. I think that's the harsh way of defining. Mr. Speaker, any man who undermines a lady or a woman is not a womanizer, is a threat to womanhood. Mr. Speaker, because this country, we are trying to encourage women leadership. And Mr. Speaker, you saw that there were 2 women leaders from your county, Mr. Speaker, and I wish to have your attention, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore the governor of Natembeya must be called out. And I want to advise Governor Natembeya for free. You know, his work is to ensure there is proper development in Trans Nzoia. As we talk today, I led a delegation of ICT and we visited Trans Nzoia late last year. The collection of revenue in Trans Nzoia, Mr. Speaker, is very pathetic and poor, where money is getting into the individual pockets, Mr. Speaker. The roads are very pathetic in Trans Nzoia. The public service in Trans Nzoia has been weaponized and tribalized for political expediency by the governor, Mr. Speaker. I have seen even he's fighting the women representative by the name Lillian Sioi, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, the governor should accommodate women leadership. The only thing he can do, we are not saying Governor Natembeya should babysit his deputy. We are saying allow the office of the deputy governor to operate optimally, Mr. Speaker. And we should encourage women leadership. And I want to ask women also in leadership, they should be responsible. I saw 2 women leaders from your county, Mr. Speaker, and I hope you'll find time during this weekend to host them for a cup of tea and guide them. Mheshimiwa Omira and Mheshimiwa Senator Fala Deko, I know the Speaker of the National Assembly has meted out serious punishment against them. But we want to ask women leaders also in position of power to be responsible, to be respectful, to ensure that they carry themselves with dignity. So, Speaker, we want to ask to be responsible. Is there anything out of order to ask people to be responsible?
No, I don't think so, but let's hear what she has to say. What's your point of order, Senator Gloria?
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate what Cherargei is trying to do here. But Mr. Speaker, Senator Cherargei is out of order because he's actually casting aspersions. He's alluding to the fact that some of the women legislators and women leaders are actually out of order, disrespectful and all that. Standing order number, not 105, 105 is statement of facts. The standing order, nowadays I know the standing orders. The standing order of casting aspersion on a fellow senator or leader, Mr. Speaker, that is the one I'm standing on. And Mr. Speaker, I want to advise Senator Cherargei, as he executes his point, although I find it very suspicious that he's trying to discuss two legislators who don't even belong in this house, and without their presence, we might not even know what transpired. We are all waiting to hear through the Powers and Privilege Committee, Mr. Speaker, which I have had experience with. So, Mr. Speaker, I would really want Senator Cherargei to tread carefully and, if possible, just avoid going that direction because unless he is sitting in that Powers and Privilege and he has facts, Mr. Speaker, we are all still waiting to see that report so that we can know what transpired. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, under principles of evidence, Mr. Speaker, under principles of evidence and law of evidence, there is what we call judicial notice by public. What the Speaker of National Assembly pronounces in the public domain, that Senator Falhada, as the access to Parliament has been denied for 90 days. There is judicial, and I am asking women to be women in leadership, to be responsible, to be respectful. Even men and young men like Senator Eddy should also act responsibly and respectfully, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, women must be responsible and respectful. And I hope, Mr. Speaker, during the weekend, you should invite the two Weshimiwas to your house and ensure there are elders from Garissa to sit them down and teach these women how to lead with a lot of respect. Mr. Speaker, finally, as I finish to second, Mr. Speaker, can Senator, I be protected from harassment?
No, Senator Gloria, you already stood on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker,
you cannot speak on the same matter twice.
Can I be protected from harassment?
But you've already spoken on your point of order. And we have listened to you. So let Senator Cherargei conclude.
And I have agreed to her advice. And that is why I'm saying all leaders, including women, should be responsible, including Senator Eddy, who is a young man, including presidential candidates, Senator Okia Omtata, should act responsibly. That's what I'm just saying. And as our norms and culture, I'm requesting you as the Speaker of this House to convene the meeting with two Weshimiwas and elders from Garissa to ensure that matter is resolved amicably. And that is the leadership we want. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the issue of Governor Natembeya must be dealt with precisely. Governor Natembeya should tread carefully. We know Mount Yelgon, Mr. Speaker. There has been conflict. We cannot allow Governor Natembeya, and I want to challenge NCIC to look into the inflammatory statements of incitement that the governor is making. I know he wants to score points by attacking the president. And I can assure you before the end of this year, from the way he's operating with arrogance and promoting tribalism in Trans Nzoia, he will be impeached. And we shall come and confirm that he's impeached like the former Governor Kawira. And you know he's operating like the same Governor Kawira, ensured the promoted strife and disorder in Meru. And that is what sent her home. I can see Governor Natembeya is using the same strategy of bringing strife and division within Trans Nzoia. Some of us have relatives in Trans Nzoia. Trans Nzoia is a cosmopolitan county. He should only stick to matters of county. He should stop playing national politics, Mr. Speaker, where they need for, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to ask Intergovernmental Technical Committee to assist this Deputy Governor, Mr. Speaker, to ensure the deputy governor has access. These are women leaders that should be respected, Mr. Speaker. If you want to lead this country, if you are leading a county and you are undermining a woman, Mr. Speaker, and then you go and give them 2 kilos of maize seeds with a lot of discrimination, issuing fertilizers, Mr. Speaker, I'm told he's even issuing fertilizers based on tribe, fertilizers and seeds that are being given in Trans Nzoia, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as I finish in seconding this motion, I want to say and congratulate the committee for the job well done. I hope, Mr. Speaker, the Intergovernmental Relations, the Devolution Committee will continue giving view of this matter. The House should give view on this matter. Let us also ensure the Deputy Governor of Siaya also has unlimited access to his office and he functions. Let us ensure the Deputy Governor in Trans Nzoia issues. Deputy Governor Monda was impeached, Mr. Speaker. So with us, a lot of comments, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say finally, Mr. Speaker, this country is a very critical country. We should protect our children as per Article 53, Mr. Speaker. What we saw in Nakuru is that, Mr. Speaker, I want to advise the country. You know, Article 53 says we should not exploit our children. And it is unfortunate that some politicians, Mr. Speaker, are using our children to perpetuate political contests, Mr. Speaker. What we are seeing in Echoes of War, directed by former Senator of Kakamega, is just using our children to do political contests, Mr. Speaker. If you look at circular number 14 of 2018, the TSC directed that, and teacher Mwalimu Wakoli, Senator, is here, that somebody who is not a teacher should not be allowed to access to the school. The leadership and management of Butere girls must be called to order. The TSC must be called to, how can you allow a stranger to enter into school to train children without being a TSC, Mr. Speaker? I am challenging, it's very unfortunate and unconstitutional, Mr. Speaker. We should be ensured that even as we allow play, Mr. Speaker, for us who went to good schools at Kapsabet Boys, we should use, Mr. Speaker, to further cohesiveness, stability in our schools. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to second.
Honourable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into the allegations on personal security concerns raised by Honourable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Trans Nzoia County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Honourable Senators, we'll now open for contribution. Gloria? Yes, Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity and for not allowing Senator Eddie Okech to direct you on who should speak, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to add my voice on this and on matters that touch on devolution, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, there's been a lot of things that have been going on in our counties. And to be honest, sometimes I see senators coming here trying to highlight us and, you know, inform the public of all the monkey business that is going down in some of the counties, Mr. Speaker. And sometimes as senators, just because we don't come from Isiolo, or we don't come from Nyamira County, or we don't come from Meru County, or whichever county that has been having all these issues, Mr. Speaker, sometimes you see that some of the senators, they feel as though it is not a matter that concerns them, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, as I have said before in this House, today it might be Nyamira County, but tomorrow it might be that county that you are representing here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have been listening to the Chair of Devolution as he gave this report, Mr. Speaker, and I've also been listening to the Chair of Devolution as he tried to inform the House on matters Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. And I really wanted to throw in my words in terms of a point of information, Mr. Speaker. You know, I come from Kisii County. We are neighbors with Nyamira County. And in fact, we always joke that Nyamira County, when they grow up, they will become Kisii County, Mr. Speaker. So we are following closely what is happening there. And Mr. Speaker, I'm always of the opinion that if there is one committee that should be resourced and that should be supported 150% by this House, Mr. Speaker, it is the Devolution Committee. Because before we have all these disputes of whether it is a speaker who's being impeached, a deputy governor being kicked out, or a governor being impeached, Mr. Speaker, I always ask, what has the devolution committee done? When we were hearing rumors of all sorts of things happening in Nyamira, because there is a lot of craziness down there, Mr. Speaker, I always ask, where's the devolution committee in this? Are they still sitting in Bunge Towers conducting meetings? Or have they decided, let us go down to Nyamira County and try to understand really, if there are two sections of the county assembly, how did that even happen, Mr. Speaker? To sit here and be informed that there is a clerk of a county assembly that has put out a gazette notice, and this gazette notice is now contradicting whatever it is that we are, defending here as devolution, Mr. Speaker. I have been on record talking about rogue agents in the county assemblies, in both houses, also in the National Assembly and in the Senate, Mr. Speaker. And it is just now creeping into the county assemblies, where now you have people who feel that they have more control over the stipulated procedures of the county assembly, Mr. Speaker. For me, I think, as much as the chair of the devolution committee has come here to give us the report and to inform us on what is happening, Mr. Speaker, I think this committee should actually be giving us monthly updates on what's going on in these county assemblies, Mr. Speaker. I have had Senator Dulo repeatedly bring statements after statements on how their governor is unavailable. Nobody knows where the governor of Isiolo is, Mr. Speaker. And this governor has been summoned in different committees, has never appeared. And I always ask myself, we have a devolution committee. How can this devolution committee be empowered further so that some of the problems we are seeing in the county assembly can actually be dealt with by the devolution committee, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, as my chair of Labour stood to try and give some information to the chair of the devolution committee, today I learned something very important when we were executing a petition in the Labour committee. One of the senior legal counsels who was entangled in that petition was trying to argue that we cannot dispense a matter in the committee that is active in court, Mr. Speaker. I learned that under Standing Order 98 of the Senate rules, in fact, if the matter touches on human rights and the public interest, that you can actually go ahead and prosecute the matter at the committee level without prejudicing whatever is happening in court, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in light of that, I'm also just wondering then, why is this issue of Nyamira County being dealt with as if we do not have the powers as a Senate, as the upper house in charge of devolution, to step in and put in really strict measures, including writing to Treasury to withhold all the monies that are being sent to Nyamira County, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as I stand to add my voice on this, I also wanted to notify this House, and it is unfortunate that most of the time when we are discussing devolution matters, Mr. Speaker, there are barely enough chairs who are present. And you know, Mr. Speaker, if I could get your attention on this, because I know you also sit in the Senate Business Committee, maybe Senator Senior Justice Mazayo would allow you to pay attention to my points, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to make an appeal to this House that when the liaison committee is actually deliberating on how we are going to spend resources, sincerely speaking, there are some committees that require enough resources to execute the matters that are happening. And devolution is one of those committees. I am glad that despite the back and forth that is going on in the House, the chair of devolution has decided to remain level-headed and to execute his mandate with regards to the issues of Nyamira County and all other counties that they are facing, Mr. Speaker. And I want to also say that, you know, today we sit in this House as senators, and we are here deliberating on how we are protecting devolution and all these issues that are coming up in the county assemblies, Mr. Speaker. But I want to say that some of us have ambitions, Mr. Speaker. Some of us have ambitions to vie for seats as high as gubernatorial seats, Mr. Speaker. So even as we are here in a learning curve of what is happening in the county assemblies, again, I am reminded time and time again that we should legislate understanding that we are not going to be in Senate forever. Some of us, we are going to leave this house and we are going to go to the county assemblies as governors. Mr. Speaker, you can see there are some governors sitting in this house like Governor Mandago.
Senator Gloria.
Yes.
Would you like to be informed by Senator Omtata?
Mr. Speaker, I want to respectfully decline. Because, you know, Mr. Speaker, Senator Omtata informed me and guided me in a way, and then I found myself reading prescribed apologies in this house. So I would like to respectfully decline. Mr. Speaker, one thing that I want to say.
What is your point of order, Senator Omtata?
Could Senator Gloria just substantiate her claim that I misled? I stand on standing order number 105. I would like to know, I would like her to substantiate the fact that she claims I misled her to a point where she fried in her own fat. Can she come substantiate that?
Senator Gloria, are you in a position to substantiate the matter you have brought
Before
to this
I
house
respond to that,
Senator Omtata misled you?
Before I respond to that, Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether you have observed something.
I have observed it.
Have you observed it? Because, you know, we had Senator Cherargei just minutes ago on the floor of the House saying how women leaders must be mentored, send them to elderly men to talk to them, all sorts of things of casting aspersion. And I just heard Senator Omtata. You know, I'm short of thinking that he's a senior counsel. With all his age, Mr. Speaker, all those years of experience, whether outside Parliament, I've heard him speak in a language that I cannot even imagine that is a person that is advising the youth out here, Mr. Speaker, so that we don't have this house appear as a patriarchal house, Mr. Speaker. Kindly, could you give a ruling on that? Because that's unparliamentary language that he has used.
Yeah, Senator Gloria, I hope you're referring to what I heard Senator Omtata say.
Yes, I don't want
to...
Are
we on the same page?
I cannot even, you know, I'm recently now a mother of 2 boys. I cannot even say those words, Mr. Speaker.
I don't, Senator Gloria.
I think you should.
Senator Gloria, if we are referring to the statement by Senator Omtata referring to you having found yourself frying in your own fat, was that your statement? I think that's an idiom, a figure of speech.
So, Mr. Speaker,
yes.
With all due respect and with respect to the chair and this house, why are there double standards when women in this house put out idioms, me being one of them? Just yesterday I put out an idiom here, or a metaphor. I'm sure you heard me saying mpango wa kando. And I was directed very quickly.
Senator Gloria.
I was directed very quickly to withdraw because it's unparliamentary.
Senator
and
Gloria,
today Omtata is being told that these are idioms and metaphors.
Senator Gloria, let us understand each other. Mpango ya mkando is not even in the dictionary. It cannot be a parliamentary language.
Mr. Speaker.
So,
Mr. Speaker,
it's 2 different things.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to go back and forth with my chair, and I respect that chair. However, it also depends on which dictionary you're referring to, Mr. Speaker. We are in 2025. There are various dictionaries. However, I will respond to Senator Omtata.
Senator Cherargei, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I rise under Article 27 on equality and freedom from discrimination. Did you hear Senator Orwoba, who professes to be fair and pro bono and discrimination, referring to the ageism of Senator Okiya Omtata, saying that with his age, he is discriminating Senator Okiya Omtata based on age? Is it in order to violate Article 27 of the Constitution of Kenya, where he is talking discrimination based on age? Yes. Mr. Speaker, is it in order, can she withdraw and apologize to the House for undermining the integrity of ageism and the wise men of this House, Mr. Speaker, including Senator? And remember, this is a presidential candidate. He is not a chairman of Nyumba Kumi, Mr. Speaker. And even the manhood of the Senate is being threatened.
Senator Gloria, your response.
Mr. Speaker, luckily, I am on a learning curve and I'm taking my standing orders very seriously. I want to refer the Honorable Senator Cherargei to Standing Order 105 on the responsibility for statement of fact, Mr. Speaker. Isn't it a fact that indeed Senator Omtata is my senior? And isn't it a fact that indeed he is not 10 years old or 3 years old, Mr. Speaker? In fact, maybe, Mr. Speaker, I am mistaken, but Senator Omtata is indeed, as you have said, a senior elder. Senator Cherargei has actually said that. So where is the discrimination? That is a statement of fact. Mr. Speaker, I also want to draw to your attention that Senator Cherargei stood at the floor of the House and told you and asked you that if you can bring the elders to advise the two ladies, the leaders who had an altercation here in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I don't get it. I think I'm being digressed, and I wanted to finish. I want to finish my point of thought.
Can we go back to the point
Kindly.
of order raised by Senator Omtata in terms of substantiating your claims?
Mr. Speaker, because I am wiser, and I want, if I have to substantiate at the floor of the House, I also have to give the context of the conversation. And I don't think that is a conversation that I want to bring to the floor of the House. So therefore, in light of that, I will withdraw and apologize to Senator Omtata because I do not want to let the public know on what Senator Omtata was advising me on. That would be, I would not be doing justice to this very prestigious House, Mr. Speaker. So I withdraw and apologize.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude on my points of devolution, Mr. Speaker. I was saying, as I conclude, that as we are deliberating at this floor, we need to remember that we are not here permanently. As I was saying, some of us have got ambitions, and some of us, beyond Senate, we are seeing ourselves as governors of various county assemblies, Mr. Speaker. And I was saying that we have a governor here sitting in the House today, Senator Governor, Mr. Speaker, Senator Mandago. And I remember very well when he was a governor, there are some of the pieces of legislations and reports that he was really against that were coming from the floor of this House, Mr. Speaker. Now he's finding himself as a senator and very conflicted in some matters. And that's why I want to say, Mr. Speaker, going forward, as I support and I add my voice to this devolution committee, I'm also aware that for now I am speaking as a senator, but I am also speaking in light that in the very near future, I will be a governor and I would like to execute devolution and make sure that we are well represented in our county assemblies.
Senator Mandago, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, this House being a House of record, I've had Senator Gloria say Senator Mandago sometimes is conflicted. For avoidance of doubt, because I don't even want her to substantiate, allow me to inform her that with the clarity of mind I have no conflict whatsoever. For my previous roles and my current roles, I know the distinction as day and night. Honorable Speaker. So I wish her well in aspirations of becoming a governor, but she should take lessons from elders like me.
Senator Wafula, what is your point of order?
Thank you, asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii. Ningependa kwa heshima kwa hoja ya nidhamu jinsi nimeuliza. Si vyema na haki Senator mwenzangu Mheshimiwa Gloria kutoa hoja zisizoweza thibitishwa na kusema kwamba Mheshimiwa Mandago huwa na mawimbi ama mtafaruku wa msimamo na hawezi chukua msimamo kwa masuala fulani katika jumba hili. Ili hali amekosa kuthibitisha ama kufafanua ni wapi, vipi na lini Senator tajika governor aliyekuwa wa Uasin Gishu aweze kuelewa haya madai ama hoja ambazo haziwezi thibitishwa zinatoka wapi. Naomba Mheshimiwa Spika mshurutishe Senator mwenzangu kubainisha yale aliyosema ama ondoe hoja hizo kwa sababu ya heshima ya jumba la Senate. Asante.
Senator Wafula, Senator Mandago amemsamehea Senator Gloria na amesema hana haja ya Gloria kuthibitisha hiyo maneno, na amefafanua jambo hilo lilosemwa na Senator Gloria. So wacha tuachie hapo na endelee na maneno yake. Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Speaker, for clarifying that we should not mourn more than the bereaved. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by saying that as we protect devolution, we have to ensure that we are thinking of the future and not just our current positions, Mr. Speaker. And so on the matters that are going on in Isiolo, in Nyamira, and all other counties that have some challenges here and there, I want to urge my fellow senators to put in 100% understanding that we are all gubernatorial candidates at some point. And so we are not here to protect the interests of any office, but to protect the systems within devolution so that we can have sustainable frameworks on executing, that everyone in the grassroots level is able to get the development that is owed to them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, we have a committee report here. And this committee report, my attention has been drawn to page 14, I think, of the report, page 13 and 14 of the report. And if you're on the tablet, you can perhaps go to page 21 of the tablet and page 22 of the tablet. And essentially, this is on the issue of the Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia, Honorable Philomena Kapkori, and other stakeholders who are involved, but of course, particularly being the governor. And Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor had reached out to IBEC, of course, through the Deputy President, which that letter was then copied to this House through the Speaker of this House. And the foundational claims that were put forward by the Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia was that our life is under threat, serious threat, that when she was in the US, she came back and found out that there were a lot of targets on her personal life, and those threats were more explicitly also communicated through a staffer of the governor. And therefore, she was seeking for an intervention that could give her reprieve. Yet, in the observation of the committee, Mr. Speaker, the first observation of the committee is that there was a simmering rift between the governor and the deputy governor, even though both of them did not indicate explicitly so that they have a major conflict between them. The second observation that the committee made, insofar as the report is concerned, because I want to confine myself within the data of the report, is that the work of the deputy governor had significantly been impacted by the communication breakdown between her and the governor. So there's an issue of communication breakdown. The governor and the deputy are saying they don't have dispute between the two of them, but the committee is observing that there is a serious communication breakdown between the two. This is the deputy who constitutionally is supposed to assist the governor in executing his mandate or a mandate, but yet they are not communicating. So it behooves me to conclude that in that lack of communication, whether deliberate or otherwise, indicate there is a conflict. The third observation, Mr. Speaker, is that there is an ongoing rift between the governor and the deputy, that the ongoing rift between the governor and the deputy is fueling ethnic animosities among the communities in Trans Nzoia County. Mr. Speaker, this is a light observation. We're in a country that we have seen political mobilization along ethnic lines, bringing this county down. We have observed in 2007, when there was political tension on a rigged election, or rather claimed rigged election, Mr. Speaker, leading to tribal clashes that the magnitude of those clashes we still remember up to today, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think it will interest you to know that the governor of Trans Nzoia, Governor Anatembea, comes from the Luya community. And the deputy governor, Philomena, comes from the Kalenjin community. And in Trans Nzoia, Mr. Speaker, the Kalenjin community and the Luya community are quite sizable as communities. So if this conflict is bringing some tribal animosities that the committee of this house has observed, I don't think you can waste this hour's time not discussing the depth of that problem. Observation number 4, Mr. Speaker, is that the National Cohesion and Integration Commission started an investigation on this matter, but never concluded, so that the committee could be able to give us the input of the National Integration Commission, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker, you've heard me complain here a number of times that National Cohesion and Integration Commission, among other independent commissions that are supposed to do oversight role or execute in terms of dealing with issues that dealing with issues such as corruption, like EACC is supposed to deal with, they never get anywhere with these issues. And what that observation tells you, Mr. Speaker, from the committee, is that it is this House that then must conclude the problem that we are seeing in Trans Nzoia. We cannot leave it to the National Cohesion and Integration Commission or otherwise any other external commission hoping that they will address the issue. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, in the observation, the committee observed that the governor of Trans Nzoia was very much willing to have the working relationship with the deputy governor restored. That's a contradiction, Mr. Speaker. The same governor who said there is no dispute between the two of them is now saying he wishes that the relationship is restored. And even going further to state that the issues impacting their relationships could be solved amicably to have them run the county smoothly. Mr. Speaker, what I'm observing here is very simple. That observation tells us that we as a country are constantly going to face an imminent challenge of deputy governors and governors never going to find a working formula. And we have complained in this House, Mr. Speaker, when we observe that the deputy governor and governor positions are sometimes about who controls what numbers and not necessarily who can work with the other. In some instances, we have seen a good working relationship, but it's becoming more and more obvious and more clearer to us that there is constant conflict between deputy governors and the governors that is making counties constantly untenable. And Mr. Speaker, this thing is problematic because there is instances where a governor would spend more resources than his deputy governor or a deputy governor, and because of this kind of conflicts, it becomes an avenue of even some governors being impeached so that their deputies can take over. We are lucky that we have got two governors in this House who are governors who are foundational to devolution, who did not experience this. They manage their relationship very well. We can learn, we can glean some moral from them. That is Governor Mandago and Governor Senator Ali Roba. They did quite well in terms of how to manage their deputies. But also in this House, we have observed a number of impeachments that has been pushed towards us. Some did not succeed, but some succeeded. We just know that in Meru recently, one of the G7 members, which is something we should have celebrated, a woman governor got ousted because of tensions that even during her time in this House, in the 3 impeachment motions that she was here in, she did indicate to this House that one of the reasons why she was facing a lot of problems in her county of Meru was because of a constrained relationship, more generally with chauvinistic male leaders in her county, but in particularly also she had a problem with her own deputy. It's a matter of record. We also saw in Siaya County that when the deputy governor of Siaya appeared in this House over an impeachment issue, there was a serious problem between the deputy governor and the governor. And Mr. Speaker, these problems do not just come from nowhere. They come from, one, lack of clear responsibility of what a deputy governor should do. While the Constitution gives us a blanket guidance that they're supposed to assist the governor in dealing with their roles, Mr. Speaker, when you are assisting, you need resources.
Senator Wafula, what is your point of order?
Speaker, a statement of clarity from Honorable Eddie. Is it in order, Honorable Speaker, for Senator Eddie to, on his feet, to allege that the leaders, the men from Meru, are chauvinists? Does it mean that the MCAs who came to this floor of the House and did what they did to be chauvinists? Is it in order? Can he substantiate that the men from Meru are chauvinists?
Senator Eddie. Senator, would you like to be informed by Senator Gloria?
Mr. Speaker, I take information in doses. Can I deal with the first information I've gotten from Senator Wafula?
The first one was a point of order.
Yes, but it's still information.
This one is point of information.
Mr. Speaker, I'm never mean with my time. I'm always a learner, a student. I can learn from everyone. So I'll allow her to inform me.
Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Senator Eddie Okech. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform Senator Eddie Okech and perhaps also Senator Wafula that we were here in plenary when we were showcased all the videos of everything that happened in Meru County. We even had the witnesses, some of them who were legislators, come here. And some of us who were very present in that live proceeding, the information is in the Hansard to substantiate that, in fact, there was a lot of patriarchy.
Senator Mandago,
I am on a point of information. How can you stand on a point of order on a point of information?
Gloria, take your seat. Senator Mandago, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I stand on Standing Order 101, Contents of Speech, 101-2. It shall be out of order to introduce an argument on any specific question upon which the Senate has taken a decision during the same session. Honorable Speaker, we took a decision as a Senate to impeach the governor for Meru. It was not about male chauvinism. It was about the proceedings of this House. And the women leaders in this Senate and this country, like Senator Gloria, should learn not to feminize everything about the debates in this House, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Gloria.
Mr. Speaker, I happen to have gone to a very prestigious school, and they taught me to read well, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you read that 101, 101-2, I went to St. George's Girls, State House Primary and St. George's Girls Secondary School. Mr. Speaker, it reads, it shall be out of order to introduce an argument on any specific question upon which the Senate has taken a decision during the same session. Mr. Speaker, I believe the governor of Meru was impeached long ago. And I am informing Senator Eddie Okech that during that impeachment motion, we witnessed here, by way of videos, by way of statements, and even witnesses who came here who are very, very, very patriarchal, Mr. Speaker. So it is in fact in order what Senator Eddie Okech is saying has been substantiated in the Hansard, and I actually was informing Senator Eddie Okech that he can rely on the Hansard of the impeachment motion of Governor Kawira Mwangaza, because most of the things in the first and second, and even the third impeachment motion, did not allude to the fact, but substantiated the fact that most of the leaders that participated in the impeachment motion of Governor Kawira, the first woman governor who actually vied on an independent ticket against 3 very heavyweight men with a lot of resources and won, all of her battles were based on the fact that the men in those spaces did not believe that she triumphed and she won them in an election.
Senator Fuller, you can't stand on a point of order twice on the same issue. Senator Eddie Okech, I hope you feel informed by Senator Gloria, but despite that, there was a point of order raised by Senator Wafula. If you could please respond to that.
Mr. Speaker, it's very easy to be in this house and play politics, but the country also must be governed. And the opportunity for leadership is a noble one, usually taken as a privilege by many, but it's never a privilege to some of us. It's a duty and a responsibility for which we commit very seriously. I wish not to respond to Senator Wafula. Mr. Speaker,
Senator Eddie, what was your last statement?
I wish not to respond to Senator Wafula.
No. It is not your wish whether you will respond to Senator Wafula or not. Senator Wafula stood on a point of order. You happened to mention that certain leaders from county government of Meru are chauvinist. Can you substantiate that statement?
Mr. Speaker, I hope that you will also keep my time focused, because I wanted to address the issue.
We have stopped your time.
I'm going to, because sometimes with the Speaker, if I go with the point of order that we have in this House, standing order number 122, there is something called frivolous point of orders that can take you out of debate. That's why we have got those point of orders, Mr. Speaker. But I'm going to respond because you have guided me. But I hope that you will still allow me to prosecute on this matter. I think it's a very serious matter, the issue of what's happening in Trans Nzoia. Mr. Speaker, the governor of Meru, the former governor of Meru, appeared in this House 3 times. Not once, 3 times. The first time that the governor of Meru appeared in this House, the House chose to take her to a committee to prosecute on the issue of her impeachment. There is a report that we filed in this House. I was a member of the committee that gave a reprieve on the basis that there was chauvinistic element in that report. You can go to that report and read. And the reason why I did not want to go that direction is because if you are a senator in this House and you have come up with a report and you haven't read that report, then I don't need to respond to you because you're not doing your job. Number 2, when she was brought here for the second time, Mr. Speaker, the same chauvinistic videos, conversations, appeared in this House, Mr. Speaker. We as a House sat on the same case and we excused Governor Kawira on the basis of those conversations. There were lawyers in this House, there were witnesses in this House, everybody participated. If the senator of Bungoma wasn't keen enough in those proceedings that ended up excusing Governor Kawira on that basis, I can only help him by telling him to go and read those reports.
Senator,
and lastly, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddie.
Yes.
So that I can allow you to proceed with your submissions.
Sure, Mr. Speaker.
As chair, I do think that Senator of Bungoma, the distinguished senator for Bungoma, has a point of order, and you are indeed out of order to imply that the senator of the governor of Meru was impeached because she was brought here by chauvinistic leaders from Meru. That is not the reason why the Senate impeached the governor of Meru. So you are out of order. If you could please apologize and withdraw that statement and then continue with your submission.
Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddie,
Mr. Speaker.
If you stick to Standing Order 120 in terms of relevance in your submission to the motion at hand, you will not be attracting this number of point of orders. So please just withdraw your statement and proceed with your submissions.
It will be unfair to subject me to a ruling that is not fair to the House. I quoted when supporting this statement that a governor appeared in this House, and I've told you 3 times, she appeared in this House and claimed that one of the reasons why she's having a problem, I've just referred to it.
That was her defense, Senator.
Yes, exactly.
That was her defense.
But it's a matter of fact. It's a matter of fact.
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
Was she impeached because of chauvinism in Meru County?
It was part of
Is that why you impeached her? Senator Eddy, we could go back and check your vote.
Mr. Speaker,
we can go back and check your vote and see if you voted to impeach her on those grounds.
Mr.
So
Speaker,
let us get back to the motion at hand, apologize, withdraw, and proceed with your submissions.
Mr. Speaker, I can't apologize
for
on a matter that I'm convicted about.
For calling the people of Meru chauvinist.
Mr. Speaker, I did not call the people of Meru chauvinist.
The leaders.
Mr. Speaker, I did not call the people of Meru chauvinist. Mr. Speaker, we are now debating. I would rather sit down and stop debating with you because I respect your chair, Mr. Speaker.
So please, if you have respect for the chair,
yes,
withdraw that statement
Mr.
and
Speaker,
proceed with your submission.
I can't withdraw the statement because, Mr. Speaker, I am saying very clearly that the governor in question, the governor of Meru, did not appear in this House once. She appeared in this House 3 times. I was a member of those committees the entire time. Okay? Yeah, and her claims of why she appeared in this House, whether she was not impeached because of them or she was impeached, are just as important as the claims of the MCA who brought her here. Okay? And if she claimed that the men of Meru are chauvinist, it's a matter of statement that's in the House, Mr. Speaker. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
You keep repeating that you respect the chair. So, exactly. You have made a statement here referring to certain leaders from Meru County as chauvinist. And I have mentioned to you that the governor of Meru, the impeached governor of Meru, used that as her defense.
Yes.
And at the time the Senate impeached the governor of Meru, were we aware of that matter or not? Was she impeached because the Senate was also chauvinist and impeached a lady governor? She was impeached because there were several other charges that were brought against her, and that's why she was impeached. So, Senator Eddy, just withdraw the statement and proceed with your submissions.
Mr. Speaker, I can't withdraw the statement because in an impeachment process, there is voting. That's how this House runs. In an impeachment process, there is voting, and I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, that if you go back to the answered, there are those people who voted against that impeachment, including myself, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddy.
So,
Senator
it's a
Eddy.
belief.
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
I will give you one last chance. And before that, take your standing orders. Go to Standing Order 122, which I'm almost being forced to find you with gross disorderly conduct. Defying a ruling or direction of the Speaker or Chairperson of the committee. That is 1221A. Are you still standing by the fact that you're not going to withdraw that statement?
Mr. Speaker, I think that you can go back to the answered, and the answered will help you make a fair ruling. Okay? I referred, and I still, anything that happens in this House, Mr. Speaker, you can use it to reinforce a debate. Okay? The reason why we are having the governor of Trans Nzoia having a problem with the deputy is because deputies and their governors have problems all the time. I don't find myself out of order if I quote a governor who was brought before this house claiming the same problem, that they have a problem with their deputy, who she said was chauvinist against her at that time. This is not me saying, this is the governor saying in this house, in our evidence with this house. I don't find that out to be out of order, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, it's not only the issue of Governor Kawira, Mr. Speaker. There are a number of governors who have come to this house, including the governor of Siaya, who have referred to, because of the problem that we see with deputy governors and their governors that make their world of working very difficult, Mr. Speaker. What is the problem of me using an example, Mr. Speaker, of what has been brought in this house to show constraints between governors and their deputies?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to stand. Senator Eddy had started very well in his submission on this very serious matter of devolution, and he had taken a very good trajectory that leadership needs responsibility and it must be taken seriously. But, Honorable Speaker, that standing order 122, Senator Eddy is defying the ruling of the Speaker, the Chair, and wants to argue with the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Senator Eddy said the Meru men are juvenists. Honorable Speaker, it was the submission of the governor of Meru, not some leaders, not some men leaders from Meru. So I think you are confusing matters here, Senator Eddy. If you said Governor Kawira alleged, we would be in agreement. But to try and brand an entire community of Meru men to be juvenist, when I know the senator for Meru, being a very serious supporter of women leaders in this country, Honorable Speaker, when I know the men in this Senate and in this Parliament support women leadership, this House has never been biased when it comes to impeachment, Honorable Speaker. This very House, Honorable Speaker, impeached the Deputy Governor for Kisi, who is a man, without mercy, because he failed in his roles. Therefore, the
Senator Gloria,
is closely...
You are getting very close to catching my eye, and I will throw you out of the House. Let the Senator speak in silence.
Yes.
Let him be heard in silence.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And especially if you are aspiring to be a governor, and a governor who has served 2 terms is on his feet.
Senator Gloria.
Gloria must learn to listen. Finally, let me say this, Honorable Speaker, so that I sit. You know, they say, and I've always heard, that the enemy of women is women. If the leadership of women is what we want to adopt is what the kind of arguments we see Senator Gloria trying to advance here. These are the same women who are undermining women leadership. They should learn to follow the proceedings, understanding orders of the House and the procedure of the House. I stood on this point of order because I know Senator Eddy is a very serious young man who I believe has a very bright future in this country, Honorable Speaker. In fact, in my retirement and in my old age, I would be seeing a Senator Eddy presidency in this country. And I will not allow Senator Eddy to be misled by women leaders who want to feminize everything at the expense of the law. So, Senator Eddy, please take this very seriously if you want to progress and the directions of the
Senator
chair.
Gloria,
Thank you.
what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, you know, considering that I was supporting the submissions of Senator Eddie Oketch, I do not want to disrupt him. But, Mr. Speaker, when I listen to Senator Mandago standing, and not only Senator Mandago, today, this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, it's a really trying session. But when I listen to various senators always trying to cast aspersions to women leaders in this House, Mr. Speaker, even alluding that Senator Eddie Oketch should not listen to me because therefore he has no future in politics, Mr. Speaker. What is Senator Mandago? Does he understand that Senator Mandago, when he was even in politics, I was in primary school, and he has gone round and round all those years in politics. Now we are sitting in the same house, Mr. Speaker. That should tell you that there's something that women leaders, including myself, are doing right. Because, Mr. Speaker, he should have actually not been in the same space where I am if I was doing something wrong, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg that as we are executing our debates, with all fairness, Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, and being a representative of women, because that is my specially elected, the representation that I put here, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you,
Mr. Speaker, please protect this House
You are
from
protected.
chauvinistic arguments like those of Senator Mandago, claiming that if this is the women leadership we have, then we don't need women leaders. Mr. Speaker, may I remind Senator Mandago that if it was not for women, he would not even be alive, Mr. Speaker. Yeah. We are the ones who are giving birth to these men all over, Mr. Speaker. We are the ones who are bringing leaders into this country. Mr. Speaker, protect women in this House and myself, and have him withdraw that comment and apologize.
Wafula, what is your point of order? And I have to put an end to this matter now.
I want to request the chair to protect citizens from the toxic statements that are being spewed on the floor of the House. Honorable Speaker, we have guests at the gallery, and as a wise man, we need to take cover of such unpalatable and digestible statements being flown on the floor of the House. Time is up, Honorable Eddie, to step up and be a senator. Listen to the counsel of the chair, and let us proceed with the discussion. And I want to thank you, Chair, for stabilizing this session and bringing people back to the topic of the day.
Thank you, Senator Wafula. I'm going to welcome the guest, Senator Eddie. And when I'm done, I hope, and it is my wish, that you're going to withdraw your statement. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon, a delegation from the all-party parliamentary groups. The APPG is a cross-party group in the United Kingdom run by and for members of the Commons and Lords. The delegation is undertaking a one-day visit to the Senate with a view to gaining insights into the legislative process, the architectural heritage of the buildings, and overall functioning of both houses of Parliament. Honorable Senators, the delegation is being hosted by the Parliamentarians for Global Action, Kenyan chapter. The Parliamentarians for Global Action is dedicated to fostering collaboration and undertaking across different parliamentary bodies and jurisdictions. I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that you may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Ms. Leah E. Ingham, Head of Delegation. The Right Honorable Baroness Tessa A. V. Blackstone. Ms. Kirith K.A. Entwistle. Mr. Richard J. Holden. Dr. Rupa A. Huck. Baroness Doreen D. Lawrence. Baroness Carmen Smith. Ms. Kim M. Johnson. Ms. Ann Met Jabi. Eduarda Mendonca Gray. Dr. Rail Mutai. Keegan Korir. Agako Ekirapa. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome and wish you a fruitful visit. Can we have Senator Tabitha to have the opportunity to welcome the guests?
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to welcome our guests, who are the UK MPs from the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And I want to really tell them to feel at home. I look forward to joining you later because, Mr. Speaker, I'm part of the team for Partnership for Global Action, which we've worked very closely with Mr. Festus of Maristops, and we do a lot in terms of support for our bills, especially on women issues, child issues, gender-based violence. And I'm happy because I know you've invited me this great evening for dinner. I look forward to interacting with you very closely. And I want to really wish you a fruitful moment here in Nairobi. This is the capital city. As a parliament, as you've seen, I know you've walked around. I was not able to join you. But we are bicameral. This is the upper house, the Senate. Then we also have the National Assembly on the other side. We normally transact and do pass bills, which undertake a process. So feel at home, and I look forward to engaging with you. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, if you look at the report before us, it's a report that again involves a male governor and a woman deputy governor. And I think that the matter is so huge that I won't trivialize it with a point of order that has come from the senator for Bungoma. So therefore, I wish to withdraw that statement. And I have got more important things to discuss because, Mr. Speaker, as you can see, I'm supposed to talk for 20 minutes. I spoke for 4 minutes, and my time is up. When I'm discussing an issue that is affecting a serious system of devolution between deputy governors and governors. So I hope that, Mr. Speaker, you will extend the same courtesy and give me my 16 minutes so that I can be able to prosecute on this matter, because I came to prosecute on this matter. And Mr. Speaker, if I may proceed, Mr. Speaker, there were recommendations from the committee. And those recommendations are what I had to give a little bit of weight because, number one, following that successful process, it seems it turned into a mediation where both parties did agree to work together, and therefore the committee went ahead to recommend that the governor and the deputy governor of Trans Nzoia to remain positive and harmonize their relationships by working together for an efficient service delivery. Mr. Speaker, that's a recommendation that I think that is a good one in faith, but not good one in practice. Mr. Speaker, we know where there is a constraint of relationship between a governor and a deputy governor, it's not very possible, especially where the question of resources and responsibility have been brought, like they have been overly brought here between Governor Natembeya and his deputy. We can't leave it to an amicable relationship, Mr. Speaker. We see equally recommendation here, Mr. Speaker, that the office of the deputy governor should sufficiently be facilitated with better allocations, as well as adequate staff and vehicle for its full operation. I wish that this one had been specified. What did the committee mean by better allocation? I think that as a house, we should pass it that the deputy governor of Trans Nzoia, first of all, must be given very specific functions. Because budget cannot come where there is no functions. Budget cannot come where there is no responsibility. So it's my wish, Mr. Speaker, that this House can be able to concretize some of these reports. For instance, Mr. Speaker, if there has been constraint between the governor on the basis of resources alone, then why can't this House recommend that Governor Natembeya gives Deputy Governor Philomena some very specific responsibilities and therefore goes ahead and allocates resources to them so that they can be able to operationalize our office as this committee had intended. The committee equally, Mr. Speaker, as recommended here, that the commissioner, the county commissioner, should ensure safety and security for the deputy governor as she returns to the office, for her to be comfortably able to work and serve. Mr. Speaker, I know it looks light when I raise this issue of women in leadership. It looks light when a woman in leadership perhaps raises an issue of security, Mr. Speaker. But I think this is inadequate, in the sense that, Mr. Speaker, we cannot make recommendation that leaves that decision to the county commissioner. We need to make this concrete enough of what do we think is the commensurate security that the deputy governor of Trans Nzoia must get. And that security, Mr. Speaker, must be commensurate to the kind of threats that she has received, Mr. Speaker. For instance, if you have received death threats in SMSs from the closest people to the governor, Mr. Speaker, then it means that immediately we will need to establish as a Senate whether the deputy governor of Trans Nzoia has even a bodyguard, Mr. Speaker. It is being said here that she doesn't have even a vehicle to go to work, meaning that you are leaving this woman leader to a situation where she can even be abducted on the road, Mr. Speaker. She can be abducted on the road as a women deputy governor. Anything can happen to her, Mr. Speaker. So we need to concretize some of these recommendations in the context of the threats that this wonderful leader has received over the past times, Mr. Speaker. There's a recommendation here, Mr. Speaker, that the deputy governor, having challenges in delivering services at the county, should take preemptive measures by writing to the committee, among other relevant agencies, to seek assistance early enough before the issues escalate. Mr. Speaker, that's a value judgment. If you look at it from a recommendation perspective, Mr. Speaker, it's a value judgment because it intimates the idea that the deputy governor is actually not in a good working relationship with the committees in the executive arm of.
We did add time for you, but I'll give you 1 minute to conclude. Give him the mic.
Mr. Speaker, I wish it was 5 minutes, but I'm a loyal servant to the people of Migori County and to the people of Kenya. So I'll stick to the 1 minute, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, where we have had a biggest rot, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee and other agencies that we have put in place to be able to champion transitions, Mr. Speaker, have also not done their work in terms of establishing the responsibility that I'm talking about, Mr. Speaker. It is high time, Mr. Speaker, that I think that this House, either we should scrap off the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee in its entirety, Mr. Speaker, and perhaps give all those responsibilities, Mr. Speaker, to the devolution committee, Mr. Speaker. Because this devolution committee, Mr. Speaker, has got more teeth than IGRTC, Mr. Speaker. You are seeing what is happening in Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. They are doing nothing about it. Why can't we make a decision that can be able to empower this committee on devolution to take on some of these duties, Mr. Speaker, and highlight in specific measures the duties for deputy governors. Highlight in specific measures the duties to speakers in the counties, Mr. Speaker, and the relationship with the governors, Mr. Speaker. Because otherwise, devolution is always under threat.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Jackson Mandago.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to weigh in on this report from the Committee of Devolution. From the onset, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Chair and his members for wading into the matter of Trans Nzoia County that was simmering between the Deputy Governor and the Governor. However, Honorable Speaker, as things stand today, despite the efforts of the Devolution Committee to resolve that matter, what we are witnessing at the moment in Trans Nzoia County is actually a pushback of what the Devolution Committee had already achieved. Honorable Speaker, as to the position of Deputy Governor and governors in counties, Honorable Speaker, as had already been alluded, there is need for each party to understand their roles. But these situations sometimes are precipitated by the political partnerships that are initiated before election, Honorable Speaker. And this is where the feeling of some of the deputy governors of being co-governors with the elected governor. And my advice to honorable deputy governors, with a lot of tremendous respect, is that they should perform their roles of being a deputy governor regardless of their political participation during election, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in some counties, there are political partnership to marshal numbers to be able to win an election between a deputy governor because of geographical reasons or ethnic reasons, Honorable Speaker. But that should end with a ballot. Once elections are over and we have a governor and a deputy governor in place, each of them should perform the duties of their respective offices, Honorable Speaker, so that we don't strain the functionality of the county, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the case of Trans Nzoia, Honorable Speaker, although the committee observations in the report are that the deputy governor and the governor seem to present an image of they have no problem amongst themselves, Honorable Speaker, but the truth of the matter is that there was a problem and there is still a problem, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, the problem in Trans Nzoia emanates from the behavior of the governor, Honorable Speaker. So it's not the question of deputy and the governor. It is the behavior of the current governor of Trans Nzoia County that precipitated that situation. It is the same behavior that is precipitating a dangerous situation in that county, Honorable Speaker. And the speeches of the governor for Trans Nzoia has been laced with a lot of tribal undertones, Honorable Speaker, and I don't blame the governor. This behavior started when he was a regional commissioner. You remember at some point he told the people of Kericho and parts of Mau that you reproduce like rats, Honorable Speaker. And he has continued the same kind of talk in a county. What we need to remind the governor for Trans Nzoia is that he is not a village chief or a tribal chief. He is a county governor. Trans Nzoia County is a home to all the communities in this country, Honorable Speaker. And the governor should be sensitive in his speech, Honorable Speaker, to the extent that he has to maintain cohesion. Honorable Speaker, the matter the Devolution Committee handled also invited stakeholders like the National Cohesion and Declaration Commission, Honorable Speaker. I'm completely disappointed by the failure by NCIC to act and even submit a report to the Devolution Committee to date, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have seen the biasness in NCIC. They move with speed when sections of political leaders speak, and they see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil when a section of other leaders speak, Honorable Speaker. And you can tell, Honorable Speaker, even from what we are being treated to today in the drama and music festivals in Nakuru, Honorable Speaker, where a politician has been allowed to use a school as a platform to advance his political agenda that is distracting the education system of the country, that is trying to cause disintegration of the nation, Honorable Speaker. And as we speak now, NCIC has not even made a comment, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Senator Gloria, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I stand under Standing Order 105 on statement of fact. Senator Mandago, as is executing his case, Mr. Speaker, is talking of the play that was written by Cleophas Malala and directed, and he has alluded to the fact that that play is in fact a way of Cleophas Malala's entry or pushing his own political agenda, Mr. Speaker. I happen to have actually gone through the script prior to all of this because I am a producer and in that space. And Mr. Speaker, what Senator Mandago is saying is in fact not true. It is not a statement of fact. I would like to invite him to have a look at the script and what that play was intending to put out, Mr. Speaker. And as much as we are politicking, Mr. Speaker, to enter the world of creatives and try to disrupt it by way of deciding what kind of creative content is put out in that particular setting that already has in-house regulations, Mr. Speaker, his point, he is actually misleading the House and the public because he's not even aware of the content, Mr. Speaker. I am 100% sure that he has not watched the play and he has not even gone through the script, Mr. Speaker. So therefore, I hope he can withdraw that comment because it is very, Mr. Speaker, it actually infringes on the rights of creatives. We are not looking at Malala as an individual, Mr. Speaker. This is a whole industry.
Senator Gloria, I am really finding it hard to grasp your point of order. Senator Mandago has not mentioned any names. He has referred to the play. Yes, and he said politicians, but he never mentioned any names, as you are trying to inform this House that he's referring to Senator Malala. No, you're assuming that he's referring to the former senator of this House, Senator Malala. Your point of order was that he's infringing on creative arts, so what is your point? That's why I said I find it very difficult to follow your point of order.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Mandago was alluding to the fact that that particular play is actually to push the agenda of a politician. And Mr. Speaker...
Did he say that exactly?
That is, in many words, Mr. Speaker, that is what he said. And Mr. Speaker, that's what I'm trying to say, he's misleading the House. Because Senator, I don't think drama festivals were being put in place to push a political agenda.
You know, Gloria, I think Senator Mandago is responsible of what he said. So, Senator Mandago, did you imply what Senator Gloria is insinuating?
Honorable Speaker, I have not rendered my brain to Senator Orwoba to think or stretch our imagination on my own behalf. You know, Honorable Speaker, the attempts to use the floor of the House for media and publicity and public gallery, Honorable Speaker, is ruining the debate in the House. Honorable Speaker, I have not mentioned the name of Senator Cleophas Malala, and I don't know what super interest Senator Gloria Orwoba has on Malala and his own problems. I knew what I was saying.
Senator Gloria, you know, we have to proceed, and I have to caution you, Senator Gloria. Even when your mic is off, you're quite audible, and you seem to even interrupt my listening to the procedure. No, I gave you an opportunity already to raise your point of order, which, in my opinion, I don't find it as a point of order. So can we allow Senator Mandago to proceed with his submission? And Senator Gloria, you know, I would refer you to Standing Order 121, A, C. Just read it and pay attention to it, Senator.
Thank you,
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, before I was distracted, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to finalize on the issue of the governor and deputy governor in county governments, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what we are witnessing in some counties is an issue of people failing to perform the duties of that office and trying to compete for one office. And as I said earlier, Honorable Speaker, because of the nature of our politics as a country, sometimes it takes an effort of two to win an election. But that doesn't mean the two will occupy the same office. So I want to ask honorable deputy governors who are in political partnership with their governors to win election to satisfy themselves with the position of a deputy governor, work with the governor, and when the governor finishes his term in office, they can also run for the same seat. And we have a very good example of deputy governors who have worked well with their governors, like the former deputy governor for Kwale County, and now the governor for Kwale County. They worked, Our Excellency, the governor for Kwale, Achani, worked with Governor Salim Buria very well for 10 years, despite the fact that they had a political partnership of working together to win an election. And after 10 years, Governor Ajani was able to win election as a deputy, from being a deputy governor to a full governor. We want to encourage deputy governors to work. But on the same breath, Honorable Speaker, governors must also respect their deputy governors, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, the problems start especially when governors allow their handlers. And I would say, you know, every politician has his political brokers and handlers, Honorable Speaker, to make sure that their political handlers respect the deputy governor, staff respect the deputy governor, and that way, Honorable Speaker, when the governor respects the deputy governor, the rest of the staff in the county will respect the deputy governor, and they will have a functional governor's office, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I know there is a quest for deputy governors to be allocated duties by law. The framers of the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, did not envisage a situation where there will be specific duties of a deputy governor. It was envisaged that the deputy governor will assist the governor, and in the absence of the governor, perform the duties of a governor. And therefore, assigning them duties in law, in my view, Honorable Speaker, will limit the performance of the deputy governor in an event where the governor is not present. Not just because the governor has left office, Honorable Speaker, but even when the governor travels out of the country, for example, Honorable Speaker, and the deputy governor is supposed to step in a situation where the roles and the functions of the deputy governor has been assigned specific duty, it will then be difficult to assign additional duties of the office of the governor. So I would only ask that the governors must respect deputy governors. They must provide resources to run the office of the deputy governors. They should not play games in terms of releases of resources to deputy governors, Honorable Speaker, because the deputy governors also have a constitutional responsibility of assisting the governor. And Honorable Speaker, if governors allow proper flow of resources to the offices of deputy governors and allow them to perform the duties of deputy governors, Honorable Speaker, then we shall not see what we saw in Trans Nzoia County, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, if you see staff disrespecting a deputy governor, or even having the audacity to comment in public about their deputy governor, Honorable Speaker, that disrespect is not originated by the staff. It is actually the governor himself who must have initiated that kind of a talk, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I urge governors to respect their deputy governors, to ensure that those officers are properly resourced for them to be able to perform their function. I don't agree with the sentiments of my colleagues, Senator Gerard Gay, who say deputy governors are supposed to read newspapers in the office. Those are not functions that have been assigned to the deputy governors, Honorable Speaker. They should perform the roles they have been given and responsibilities. But governors must ensure that deputy governors have their resources. This idea of deputy governors' vehicles are not being serviced, they are not being fueled, I don't know, their drivers are not being paid allowances. Those are very primitive ways of dealing with matters. If a governor and deputy governor have a problem, they should have a sit down and leave the operations of the offices to run while they address their problems, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the Committee for Devolution for the work they have done, but that committee needs to be supported by the agencies that also have constitutional mandates, like NCIC, IGRTC, who are supposed to also implement the recommendations of the Devolution Committee. Honorable Speaker, when recommendations of the House are not implemented, then it renders the work of that committee valueless. But if those agencies like NCIC, IGRTC do make a follow-up and ensure that those recommendations are implemented, Honorable Speaker, then the value of the work this committee has put in will be seen. But we must congratulate Senator Abbas, the chair of the Devolution Committee, and his members for the work they are doing. I'm also confident, Honorable Speaker, that Senator Abbas' committee will be able to resolve the matter of Nyamira, where we have 2 county assemblies, Honorable Speaker, that are being run in one county. I think that is a county that has a record of its own, to be able to run a county assembly under a tree and another county assembly in the registered premises of the county assembly. But I'm sure Senator Abbas and his committee should be able to address that matter and bring the 2 warring factions of the county assembly of Nyamira together and make sure we have a functional county assembly. When the county assembly of Nyamira is not functional, it means the oversight functions of the county of Nyamira are impaired by that, Honorable Speaker, and therefore the citizens of Nyamira may not benefit from the role of the county assembly of ensuring that the resources that we fought to go to Nyamira County, that the resources the senator for Nyamira keeps asking that be released to Nyamira County cannot be ascertained how they are used if the county assembly is not functional, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, even as the devolution committee takes their role, we also want to urge the members of county assembly to avoid situations where we can have 2 county assemblies in one county. Impeachment is a process, and I think we need to take impeachment by its strides because it is provided in law. If you are impeached, then you have to leave. If the impeachment process doesn't succeed, those who are pro the impeachment process should not personalize the process to the extent of creating factions within the assembly or even the county, Honorable Speaker. They should be satisfied that they made an attempt, they followed the law, they voted, they never succeeded. They will always have another chance if they do want to impeach their Speaker, Honorable Speaker, and therefore they should just follow the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable Senators, before I call the next speaker, which is Senator Omtata, I would like to suspend the sitting for 5 minutes and resume thereafter to attend to a personal matter. Let us resume. Senator Umtata.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for that opportunity to address this August House. In regards to the motion being debated, I've looked through the motion and I'll comment on a few issues. One, this matter was allegedly triggered off by an element of insubordination on the part of the deputy governor, who, as reported in the report, decided to approach the deputy president to go on a trip to the USA, then without the knowledge or approval of her governor. And when the governor learned of it, when she wanted to be facilitated for the trip, I think he lost his cool. I also think that the committee should have condemned that insubordination, which it did not, even if the governor overreacted, because then the other thing of governors being facilitated, deputy governors, the law is very clear. When you look at the election of although the law does not clearly state the functions, the Constitution does not state the functions of a deputy governor, but you can glean them from what the Constitution says about the deputy president. In Article 147 of the Constitution, it is clearly stated that 1, the deputy president shall be the principal assistant of the president and shall deputize for the president in the execution of the president's functions. 2, the deputy president shall perform the functions conferred by this Constitution and any other functions of the president as the president may assign. 3, subject to Article 134, when the president is absent or is temporarily incapacitated, and during any other period that the president decides, the deputy president shall act as the president. The deputy president shall not hold any other state or public office. Mr. Speaker, sir, if that was to be if that was to be understood in its clarity, you would realize that a deputy governor is nothing more than a spare wheel, for lack of a better image. Like on a vehicle, you have a spare wheel that comes into play when one of the wheels is incapacitated or is not functional. This idea that deputy governors can stand apart from a governor is untenable, because it is going to create two centers of power. And that will not be good. The governor and the deputy governor are one ticket. There's one center of power in the county, and the deputy governor must realize that there's no shortcut to the governorship. If they wanted to be governors, they should run as governors. They should not seek to be governors through the back door. To be a deputy is as defined in the law. So I don't see any other functions that can be assigned to a deputy governor beyond what the Constitution lays out for a deputy president in Article 47, taking into consideration all the changes and the alterations that may be required. In the question of mutual respect, I support that there has to be mutual respect. And where there's any misunderstanding, I think if there's mutual respect, it will be resolved. The other question that comes in is the question of budgetary allocations. I think the people who make the budget are MCAs. And if there's any group that has to be helped to understand maybe how to allocate funds and staff, could be the MCAs who could allocate funds. I remember the national government used to have funds allocated directly to the office of the deputy president and to the office of the president, although
Sometime it changed. And maybe what we could do would be to allocate funds directly in the budget so that the deputy governor does not depend on funding from the governor, but he has got his office is recognized as an office that exists as a governor in waiting or a governor in times of emergency, and it is fully facilitated right from the budget. And maybe we may need to look at our budget-making process to ensure that we put in place structures where these officers are funded and facilitated to operate. But no functions beyond being deputy governor should be assigned to a deputy governor. You have situations that arise where the question of the deputy governor is abused. You have seen in this particular case that the deputy president shall not hold any other state office or public office. In some counties, you find that deputy governors are assigned ministerial duties. It's a habit across the country. In my own county of Busia, the deputy governor doubles up as the minister for health. And I think we need clarity. Then when you go to look at the total number of ministers that a county can hold, whereas the Constitution sets a top limit of 10 county executives, members of the county executive, you find that some counties then go around and say, because they have appointed the deputy governor to a ministerial position in the county, therefore they have got the leeway to appoint another person to make the 10. So you find a county like Busia has got 11 members of the county executive, and their defense before the committee is that the deputy one is a deputy governor and therefore does not count. How can he not count and is running a ministry? So these kind of things need to be looked at critically. And we make people understand that when you choose to become a deputy governor, you choose to become a deputy governor. You don't hide in the office of the deputy governor to do other things. And this I say without condemning any deputy governor who is serving in any role, but just to draw attention to the fact that we should try to sanitize our counties and limit the expense that the county the money the county spends on governance by not allowing counties to go beyond 10 county executives where the law sets that limit. Mr. Speaker, sir, there was reference to the play Echoes of War by the former Senator for Kakamega, the Honorable Malala. Mr. Malala called me sometime last week, and he mentioned the issue of that this play had been frustrated, was being frustrated at the national level. And he did that because some time back, I think in 2013 or thereabouts, I did file a petition to demand that the Butere girls be allowed to perform their play, which was called Shackles of Doom, incidentally by the same gentleman, Mr. Malala, and the Honorable Majanja, David Shikomera, the late, wrote a very, very, very detailed judgment on the question of freedom of expression, especially artistic expression. So we cannot be brought to a date whereby you can criminalize storytelling or the creative arts or satire. But over and above that, the Ministry of Education has an elaborate structure for filtering plays. And this play was not just sprung onto the national stage. The play started at the school level. The zones, I think, then it comes to the divisions, then it comes to the county, then it goes to the regions, I think it goes to the national. Now, how can it get to the national? Then we begin hearing all these funny things. It is some attempt to play politics, to introduce politics into schools. that should be condemned. Because these officers of the Ministry of Education were the very ones who are adjudicating this place right from the grassroots. And none other than the Ministry of Education, where it has been quoted as saying that the ministry has not banned that play. The court examined the play, it found it not subversive, to order that the play be allowed to run. It ordered that the author be free to present his play. And so we get to a situation whereby it's a bit disturbing that some overzealous officers then take upon it themselves to try and ram it the wrong way. It's a matter of public record that Butere Girls is the alma mater of some prominent ladies in this country. And some of those ladies are supposed to have been vexed by the fact that their former schools are being associated with this kind of performance, and that they are behind the overreach by the security forces to try and frustrate the play, even when the Minister for Education has gone on record to say that they did not ban that play. And so I would like to call upon those who are in charge of this country to ensure that we don't lose our focus in terms of what should be done. And the use of excessive force against children is not acceptable. We are a democracy, and the use of non-teaching staff in extracurricular activities like writing and directing plays, like coaching people during football, volleyball, netball games, for coaching kids during music festivals is allowed because a school is not an island. A school is part of the wider community and it should interact with the wider community. As to say that a politician cannot meddle, yes, Mr. Malala may have been a politician. I've seen some people comment that way. I am also a published playwright, for those who don't know. I could be the topmost playwright living in Kenya today. And I've written plays. I've published plays. My plays are being taught in the Black Drama series in the USA. It doesn't mean that I cannot, that I'm somebody less a human being than who cannot just engage in a school. So you can't say that I cannot go with my vast experience into a school and participate in their drama festivals. So I think as a country, we are dancing down a very, very dangerous slippery slope that is going to attempt and stifle freedom of expression. And above all, after a court has ordered, assuming there was a dispute, the emergency there was none, to just overzealous individuals, assuming there was a dispute, and the court has resolved that dispute by giving specific orders, we cannot afford to defy those orders. If you don't agree with the orders, go back to the court that issued them and demand that they be lifted. Don't try to take the law into your own hands and do whatever you want to do. So, in terms of insubordination that we are also talking about in this particular motion, I feel that this culture of insubordination to legitimate authority needs to be addressed so that we do not end up being our own enemies. We do not end up harming the fabric that holds this country together, and we proceed to encourage the creative arts to help us look at ourselves and to help us understand what exactly we are entitled to as a people. The Echoes of War is a beautiful script whose performance should be allowed to go free of charge, and the arrest of the author and the detention of the author, the former Senator for Kakamega, Mr. Malala, is something that I condemn in the strongest terms possible, and I pray that those who did that be brought to book. And I think this is one thing that will deserve a motion being brought to this House, or a statement being brought to this House, so that we can understand what is happening in Nakuru. We cannot leave it to overzealous individuals, random nationalists, to come and try to tell us the do's or don'ts of the creative arts. We must not get to a place whereby those in power have a reverse Midas touch that...
Senator Omtata,
yes,
just as a matter of guidance, if you could please follow Standing Order 120, relevance and repetition. The motion at hand, if you could, you've deviated, and I've given you leeway to discuss the matter of that you have entered in, but you're dwelling on it too much. If you could just stick to the relevance of the motion, Senator.
Yes, I'm guided, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm guided by your wisdom. To wind up, I say that I was just going to say, to bring up together an analogy, that the genesis of the dispute in Trans Nzoia was not being addressed. When I looked at the report, the governor had said clearly that he and the deputy had very good working relationships until he learned that the deputy governor had gone to the deputy president and gotten a trip to go to the USA and wanted funding from the county. And as his assistant, I think he should have begun by getting clearance from the governor to do that. And this insubordination was at the root of it. And I noticed that the report by the committee did not dwell on that. Finally, there was a report to the DCI, which made this matter to be a matter under active investigation. There was no feedback in the report about what the findings of the DCI were and what was the outcome of that complaint to the DCI, whether it was withdrawn or not. I've not seen it in the report. And so, from where I stand, I'm unable to support this report, and in my submission, I oppose the report for being inadequate, for failing to exhaust the issues before it. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I return the mic, and I thank you for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Tabitha Mutinda.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And first, allow me to really appreciate the committee of devolution for taking their time to embark on this matter, Mr. Speaker. You know, Mr. Speaker, there are very few women deputy governors. Let me start from that point. Because most of the governors who are male, their deputies are male. Very few have women deputy governors. And you note that these positions are very few. It is so sad, you know, to stand on this platform and really be discussing the character of the governor of Trans Nzoia, because from the reports, the way I've looked at it, Mr. Speaker, the issues that had been raised by the Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia are issues that are more of personal issues, unlike even administrative issues. Mr. Speaker, when these two people, the governor and the deputy, decided to embark on a journey of leadership in the county of Trans Nzoia, I believe the main goal was to serve the people of Trans Nzoia. At the same time, of course, from a political point, then there has to be balance. Different factors considered. They walked a journey and they succeeded. Then you wonder, was the governor just taking in the deputy as a flower for him to succeed in achieving the win of the seat? And then after that, that's it? Because looking at what the committee was able to look at, issues like denial to use the designated house of the deputy governor, breakdown of communication, Mr. Speaker, discrimination and being sidelined. These look more of, apart from administration partly, but also very personal, because when someone decides not to have communication with you while you're in office, but during the campaign period, you had a very good teamwork. Then there was flow of communication at that time, but then it breaks when you're in an office. What Senator Mtata has raised in terms of where this beef came from, Mr. Speaker, it's even sickens it more. It's really belittling the mindset of looking at the reason behind it. I've had Senator Mtata talk about the issue of a trip to the US. For Christ's sake, what is a trip? You know, that makes you as a whole leader then disconnect in terms of the working relation with your deputy governor. If it was then an official trip, then why is it a big deal? Why should it subject that these two leaders cannot work closely together? I've narrowed and looked at it in terms of the different stakeholders who are supposed to appear. I even note that the Minister of Interior by then did not have time to appear before this committee. Then you wonder, why? Is it because maybe the matter was not too weighty? Or why? Why did they not appear before the committee and be able to get to the bottom of the issues that the committee had raised? DCI, they never gave a report. Why? Because the matter was too little? What's the reason behind that? All in all, the committee were able to do their part. Today, they've submitted a report. When I speak to the chair, Honorable Senator Abbas, on some of the recommendations, the recommendation was very simple, Mr. Speaker. The recommendation was that they should work together. And the governor assured the committee then, according to the report, that he'll ensure they are working very well with the deputy, because the decision is for the two of them. You know, some of these issues look like marital issues. At times, as much as you shout, as much as you up and down, but then at the end of the day, it's just the two of you. Only the two of you who should be able to sit down and reconcile and move forward. Because at some point, Mr. Speaker, in marriage, when two people meet and come together, you are not there. You are not involved. Sometimes then why do you want even to be involved when there are issues? Why is it when people are having challenges is when there is involvement? They forget that at the end of the day, the decision lies with these two people. And when I look at this scenario for Trans Nzoia, it's nothing short of this, Mr. Speaker, because the committee has done their part. These two individuals, these two leaders, say that they will work together. I'm told they just worked for 1 week. Even this relevant institution, NCIC, then what are they supposed to do beyond that? If you, as a leader, as an adult, a team as that has mediated the issues, and you confirm that you're supposed to work together and this does not happen. It is sad, Mr. Speaker. It is really sad. As I conclude, because of time, Mr. Speaker, all said, because the governor is working, his office is operating, he should ensure he accords the deputy governor, Madam Philomena, the support to continue with his mandate. And things happen, Mr. Speaker. The other day, we saw in Meru, the deputy governor became now the governor. In Luya, they say vindu vichenjanga. You never know. So do not underestimate the power of your deputy, because he might be the deputy. Things might just change, things might just turn. So we just want to ask the governor, Natembeya, you accorded Philomena a platform to be your deputy. Accord her the opportunity to complete her term. You've actually just stopped her career, because where do you leave her? She would have then been left to do other important things. And then stop taking in deputy governors just for the purpose of winning an election. And then after that, you drop them just like that. It's very unfair. It's very saddening, sickening. It's the lowest someone can go, Mr. Speaker. And I want to really challenge that the governor to really show leadership. The way we've seen him go to the ground, moving up and down, let it start from his own office. Because if you do not have proper leadership with your deputy, what are you actually insinuating and indicating? With those remaining few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I support the report.
Senator David Wafula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity for me to ventilate on this matter of Trans Nzoia. Honorable Speaker, I happen to be a member of this committee led by Senator Abbas, and we had an experience to mediate and bring together these two individuals to ensure that the county of Trans Nzoia is stabilized for purposes of development, tranquility, harmony, and peace. And Honorable Speaker, it is quite unfortunate that after the Senate facilitated us to go and mediate, we still have this feeling, and it is heavily indicated by our chair, that the county government of Trans Nzoia can no longer hold, Honorable Speaker. If a deputy governor can be denied access to the office, if a deputy governor cannot be assigned responsibilities, if a deputy governor cannot be invited for meetings, for executive meetings, if a deputy governor is threatened blatantly, openly by people known by the county government and the state agencies, Honorable Speaker, then it means either the county government is headed to the dogs, or we have a banana county, or it means we have a problem and the county government is dysfunctional. Honorable Speaker, members have alluded here that we have a simmering problem, a simmering ethnic tension rising at the grassroots level and among the leaders. The problem here, Honorable Speaker, it is evident, as Senator Tabitha has said. It is clear when you hear speeches from members and leaders from Trans Nzoia, led by the governor himself, members alluding and threatening or in a derogatory manner, suggesting that members of specific communities either don't have networks, either they don't know what they want, either they are not in the right political frame, and therefore bringing tension to the ground. It is evident, Honorable Speaker, that last week or thereafter, a minister, a CEC in the county government of Trans Nzoia, openly abused a woman leader of the National Assembly in Kenya in a very derogative manner. If a minister can spew such venom in public, what about the head of that institution? What message are we sending to Kenyans that you can say anything, anywhere, anytime without going unpunished? Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. We invited the Cohesion Institution to Senate. The messages that the deputy governor showed the committee of people insulting, abusing, and threatening are evident, and the people are known. We must begin by tackling such individuals to be dealt with by the rule of law. But if the people are the same people being used over and over again to tarnish, to abuse, to threaten, to intimidate, then we are saying in this country we are headed to the dogs. We don't want a scenario where county governments are turned into demagogic institutions led by people with stiff hands and stiff necks who do not appreciate that we have a national government and we have county government that work together for the benefit of the people. And therefore, I want to associate myself with this report. and the Senate to pronounce itself that deputy governors are not only people to be seen, they must be heard and they must participate in ensuring that devolution meets the expectations of the founders of this devolution. If a deputy governor cannot be given fuel, cannot be given vehicles, and we expect them to deliver, we are cheating ourselves. So this is the awakening call to the government of Kenya, institutions that are mandated to weigh in on wrong governors, wrong public officers, to ensure that county governments are not supposed to be divisive institutions. They are supposed to be a uniting factor to bring development to the people of Kenya. Finally, Honorable Speaker, because of time, the matter of Butere girls. I have participated in these drama festivals before, and as a student of the powerful and famous Musingu High School, when we were in Form 1, we participated in a play called Coup d'Etat. We were not allowed, we were the top in that province, Western. Unfortunately, the coup d'etat means topsy-turvy, it means a coup. We were not allowed to pass or move beyond the borders of Western province. We were stopped. We went back to class and we performed very well. This, what has happened in Butere girls, reminds us as young people. I never knew today I'll be in this Senate seeing what is happening to young people, to actors. That is fine. But what I don't agree is brutal use of force on innocent people. Fine. But what I also don't agree is using of a political platform, a political space, to insinuate that you can use innocent people to propagate political messages. So we support talent, right? We support creativity, right? We support freedom of expression, right? But we do not support using of innocent platforms to expedite and champion political messages in young people at that time. And Honorable Speaker, I want to say that as Senate, we must weigh on this matter and ensure that those who are participating in these activities are given all the space, all the opportunities to showcase their talent. But we must also protect our institutions and nurture talent, not only talent for entertainment, but talent to earn a living. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Karen Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The issue, as brought out by the Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia, Madam Philomena, on her personal security is multifaceted. There is the issue of deputy governors in general in this country, and it is an open secret that deputy governors in this country operate under the mercy of their bosses, who are the governors. If you hear of a county where the relations are cordial between a governor and their deputy, if you hear of a deputy governor who is enjoying their work, it directly speaks to the person of that governor. And you will even hear praises of that governor, that he's a good governor because he has a choice of making their deputy productive or not. There's also the issue, another issue that comes to play from this motion, and it is the environment that women leaders in this country are operating in. It is also an open secret that women are the weaker sex physically, and that aggravates the claims by the Deputy Governor of Trans Nzoia on her personal security, on the concerns of her personal security. Mr. Speaker, we have seen, or governor candidates are known to pick female running mates, to appear that they are gender sensitive, or to look like they are considerate to the other gender, only for their true colors to show up once they're in that position, Mr. Speaker. And the blame is on the law, because we have created this position, and Omtata is very right to say that deputy governor's role is to act as a spare wheel. In case something happens to the governor, if in case he's incapacitated one way or another, then they fill the place of the governor. We, as a house that is concerned with devolution in this country, it is up to us to define the roles of deputy governors so that they're not at the mercy of the governor. The taxpayer is providing for money for that deputy governor to be paid. The taxpayer has provided for a residence for her and a vehicle. It is not a favor from the governor. It doesn't depend on the mood of her boss. It is injustice, because where the taxpayer is spending money and they don't get value for that money, simply because the governor has not found it worthy, I mean, there's a big lacuna in the law, Mr. Speaker. And we have spoken about this over and over again. I have not heard of any pending law before this House to bolster the position of a deputy governor. We are all in the political field. You never know where you might find yourself in coming political cycles. It is incumbent upon us to ensure that this position of deputy governor makes sense for devolution, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. There being no other senators wishing to contribute, I call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I reply, I want just to add one or few questions. First and foremost, I want to thank the members who contributed. And it seems the report actually has generated a lot of interest. However, having said that, Honorable Speaker, this report has been lying in the order paper for almost 1 year. And it has been taken, a lot of events have overtaken. And I think I'll request the House of Peace Committee and the Secretariat to be able at least to fast track reports that actually are very necessary to be tabled in the House. Because now this was 2023, and now we're in 2025. Okay, but however, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker's Office, Deputy Governors, have a lot of challenges. Today, the committee have been having a hearing. There's an amendment actually been submitted by amendment of a bill 2024 to amend part of the Deputy Speaker's functions. That was moved by the Speaker of this House. And today we had all the stakeholders, including the COG, that is the Council of Governors, IGRTC, we had the State Department of Devolution, Deputy Governors, we had also experts, constitutional experts, actually, Dr. Henry, and there was a lot of, talk about the whole issue, a lot of pros and cons, and I felt the need that there is a lacuna in the Constitution, that the deputy governors have not been stipulated very well. Their offices is not actually well taken care of. It's actually at the mercy of governors. And that is why we have a lot of challenges. The deputy governors actually campaign. The deputy governors campaign with them as partners and equal friends with the governors. They do contribute a lot of things. They do contribute to the population. And they come from different parts of the country. But however, after the governors win, that is actually where most of the governors actually harass and neglect the deputy governors' positions and their offices. Some of the offices have been left without any funds, and deputy governors are left without any proper duties. However, okay, having said that, Honorable Speaker, the issue of Transoya, actually, as you're aware, Transoya and Mount Elgon is actually one county. And that area has been a very fluid area with a lot of ethnic conflict, and therefore, the ongoing problems has not actually subsided up to now. After the committee visited there, the governor and the deputy governor reconciled, but of course the situation went back the same. Of course, you know, the governor has portrayed a lot of arrogance, and I hope that that situation will not be to trigger any conflict. Honorable Speaker, and having said that, I want to respond, and I want to, the deputy governor has approached the IG office in Kitale, the IG representative, the police officers. They have written to the Minister of Interior, but none of these officers came to the committee's meeting. With those few remarks, I beg to reply the motion, the report of the threats felt by the Deputy Governor of Kitale, Honorable Honorable Kipre. With those, I beg to reply. Second.
Senator Abbas, could you please approach the desk?
Sorry?
Approach the desk.
Yes, sorry. Honorable Speaker, sorry. Honorable Speaker, having replied the motion, I pursuant to Standing Order 66.3, I request putting the questions to be deferred to the next sitting.
Thank you very much, Senator. We shall defer the putting of the question to next week, Tuesday, when the House resumes its business. Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate, therefore, Senators Karen and Senator Abbas. Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate, therefore, stands adjourned until Tuesday, 15th April 2024 at 2:30 p.m.